Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all safe and well. Now let me firstly say, for those who have been around the channel for quite some time, I hope you've all been safe and well. You've been looking, after friends and family, and more importantly yourselves. I hope you're in good spirits. Yeah, and for those who are new to the channel, which I can see there's been quite a jump since the last video, which is roughly 5 months ago. Thank you for joining this channel. Yeah, so thank you both ways. To the new people who have just joined, it's most appreciated. For those who have been around a bit longer, again, thanks for the continued support. Now, yeah, the reasons for not doing a video in such an extended period of time, let's use the term multifactorial. I don't know why I'm going that route, but there you go. I must have been saying that recently. Yeah, it's family commitments, work commitments, not a lot out there for in terms of what I want to buy and potentially could enjoy, in my opinion, from what I've been searching for. Haven't seen, the sheer number of albums. I feel for my tastes, yeah, it's slowed down a bit, but that's not to say I haven't been buying vinyl, because you guys know me too well. I love a bit of vinyl, I can't deny it. So today is just going to be I'm saying brief, but I've got no doubts that it's probably going to run on to, let's say at this point, 20 minutes of me showing you some of the new purchases. Yeah, my first impressions, why I perhaps bought these albums and that sort of thing. So again, thanks for those who are long-standing members of the channel. Thank you for returning. Those who are new, again, thank you for joining the community such as it is, and it's pretty crazy. Well, not even pretty crazy, everybody's polite. If anybody gets abused, it's just me. So yeah, I can handle that. So thank you so much for joining me once again. So the first album out of the hat today is by an artist who I've got, I think, one other album of his. Really liked it. It's fusion, it's French fusion, but this guy, he's a composer, he's a conductor, he's just unbelievable. Jazz isn't his only thing, classical seems to be his mainstay, but it's a gentleman called Laurent Petit-Gerard, and that's the best French you're going to get out of me. And let me show you the album cover. So there you go. Lovely little obi strip. In fact, let me just try and so you can see. Cover itself, I'll tell you what, it's superb cardboard. I can't deny it. And this came this is a repress on the Superfly Records label. I have no idea what an original of these would cost. I'm not sure I'd be prepared to pay it. Not to say that this wasn't rather expensive, because it was. So I'm just reaching down for the obi strip. Yeah, first thing is superb cover. The weight of it, the image itself, yeah. But yeah, the actual sleeve, ooh, first class. I'll show you the reverse as well. There you go. So really nice. Which one's, yeah, look how handsome. I've seen him in later life and he looks nothing like this. So yeah, he was killing it at one time, there's no doubts about it. So in terms of style, this is it's a particular era in French fusion. I'd say if you like Cortex, that kind of stuff, if you're used to that sort of sound and you enjoy it, now this album by Laurent Petit-Gerard will perhaps, yeah, it might float your boat. What did it come with? It came with some sleeve notes. Yeah, in fact, it's supposed to be that way. So is it multilingual? No, it's all in English. A bit of bump about it, and that's the reverse side to it. Yeah. So it's been so long since I've done the last video that loads of these albums that I'm showing you are new to me, introducing them to you, but I've had them around for quite some time, so they have been cleaned in a lot of cases. So now that I've got my particular inner sleeves on there, I'm so much happier. Sorry for banging the microphone there. And yeah, everything's clean, no kind of I'm not going to do the usual complaints about how dirty this is. I would say this has got a very nice weight to it. It's very satisfying. So let me put that back in there. What I'm going to do is as well, seeing it's been so long, I'm going to put down in the description area links to the hot tracks I feel from any particular album I'm going to show you today. So hopefully one of each album there's going to be 1 or 2 tracks where I'm just saying this is cool, have a listen to this, see what you think. Yes, so you can still get this. It's gone up in price since I bought it. I think it's on a limited run as well, so if you hear it and like it, I would say try and pick it up as soon as you can, because it'll either get extremely expensive or that's it of the print run and you'll just have to wait. So that's the first one. Oh gosh, I gotta put this all back together again. That's gonna be, yeah, I might have to do that off camera because I don't want to rip anything. Oh, I might as well show you. These are the kind of inner sleeves that I use. I think they're 400-gram ones, something like that. I've tried out so many, and this is the ones that I really like because you can get the covers in real nicely without any aggravation. You can even flip them the other way and store them that way, but I tend to do it like that. Easy access, it just feels nice. Yeah, like I said, I've tried 2 or 3, well, in terms of grades of sleeve covers, dust covers, I've tried maybe, that's that's probably in the middle in terms of thickness of the sleeves that I've been purchasing, and I've used this type for quite a few years now. It's not so thick that it's basically it will warp over time or deteriorate or get the vinyl to sweat, and it's not light enough that it crinkles up on itself, that it just can't hold the weight of certain of the album sleeves which are put in there. So yeah, if I get time and I remember, I might include where I get these from. So it's a UK supplier of them. It might even be, was it? I think it's actually on Amazon. So yeah, if I remember, I'll put a link into that as well. The second album today, and hopefully I've got these all in order, is classic jazz. It's by a gentleman who I've got maybe 4 or 5 albums for, and I have a love and hate relationship with him, and that's the genius that is Miles Davis. And this particular album is entitled Water Babies. Now, my thing with Miles is I'm never going to say that he's not the real deal. He clearly is. He just seems to keep, and this is the thing, they're both, that's why I'm in awe of him, but he slightly winds me up as well. It's like, you're so good when you choose to go in a direction and the listener's giving you the time to really reflect on what it is that you're trying to do. More often than not, you're going to come up trumps. And he just had a whole career of just doing that, tweaking the jazz genre, or going into more fusion styles, or he'd even go into the kind of electro. He's just done so much, and it's kind of like, I don't have all of it, but I think I've got really good examples from the everyday classics that everybody else has got to the more kind of genre pushing versions. So Nefertiti, In a Silent Way, I've got those as well because they're just different. But this is phenomenal as well. I remember this artwork from back in the day, not actually the album cover, but this style of art. Yeah, I don't know if it translates into the modern style. It's a bit stereotypical, but there's a naturalism about it which I quite like it. And this player here, it just makes me chuckle all the time. In the UK, we never had fire hydrants outside. There's no such scenario for that. We just don't do it like that. So this is kind of invokes memories of experiences which are not mine, but I kind of think is partly universal. A hot city street, and kids just go, I ain't got no money, I ain't going, my cousin Tom is gonna nick my bike, so I ain't going nowhere. Let's just turn on the hydrant and just chill. Get it. Superb album. There's a number of tracks on here which absolutely for me anyway, just not only reinforce how good Miles Davis is as a composer and a musician, how tight he keeps his crews. What this guy is just top level. And sometimes I hate to admit it because I think I'm more on the Coltrane side. But the more I hear of Miles Davis's back catalogue, although I always knew this anyway, Miles is the number one, but it's kind of like I always try to fight it, but because I want to be in the Coltrane camp, but no, but Davis is clearly better. Anyway, great album. I'll leave links to it down below. 10 minutes and only on 2 albums. All right. Oh, in fact, let me show you the vinyl for that. Again, I've cleaned it. I'm just going to whiz through it. So yeah, it's cleaning. It's got a very nice weight to it. I've got no complaints about that. It's in one of my sleeves already. So, oh, the sleeves. If I remember, I'll link to the particular retailer who does these. Yeah, I just find them a nice compromise. Nice bit of paper on the outside with plastic inner sleeve inside that. So it gives it, it's just a really tactile experience. So, you can check them out for yourselves, see if they work with your collection and how you want to store things. Next album by a gentleman called Byron Pope, and I don't know what to say about this album. This is one that I've seen around for years. Been scared to buy it. My collection was nowhere near at the jazz stage that it is now. So it would have been such an outlier. It was kind of like frightening me. I had to do the groundwork in between to kind of get to what this gentleman's doing. The album's entitled Music for Earth Dwellers, and it's by Byron Pope. There you go. And I really do love these covers of that era where, look, it's easier for you to actually have clothes on, but you're just saying, yeah, I'm coming towards a middle-aged man such as myself, and it's, you know what, I'm going bare-chested. I don't care what you say. Chest is coming out, just, yeah. Bless him for it. Yeah, super funny, in my opinion. Yes, let's have a read a bit of the blurb here. Rare Cosmic Jazz album, first vinyl reissue since 1982, blah blah blah, 500 copies, da 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 da. Alto saxophonist Byron Herman Pope, born 1934, might be rather unsung name on the bill despite being part of avant-garde jazz circuit for more than half a century. Deeply committed to the ideas of John Coltrane, he has played with Alan Silver and Sonny Murray, but only recorded sporadically over the course of his long career. So yeah, this guy, he's just got rebellion written all over him. He's just like, if you say yes, he says no, unless he truly respects you. So you got to be like a guy of Coltrane's level, or he's met you, I don't know, under some circumstances which is not formal, where he's just going, okay, you're all right. Maybe had an altercation at a petrol pump or something, and he just, I don't know. But he seems like he's a person who's hard of hearing, and he's got his own view of how things should be. And this album is an absolutely airbender. It's cosmic jazz. Yeah, it's rare cosmic jazz. That's what it is. I ain't gonna lie. It's quite hard work, so I think you need, enjoyable as it is, it's kind of like if you was a person who wore suits and the 10th suit you bought was like a red one, to somebody who's got 1 or 2 suits, they go, that's a lot to spend on the colour that you're not going to wear. But if you're already 10, 20 suits in and you choose to buy a red one, it's because, yeah, I know I got colour schemes for everything else. Don't worry about that. But so I kind of put this in that category. An enjoyable ride, I must admit, but not for the faint-hearted. You kind of got to have, for it to make sense in anyone's collection, to have it as your first 6 jazz albums, I wouldn't say do that. That's a risk. You might not like it or get it at this time. You need to do something like, go on a huge meandering journey, then come back this way. So yeah, I enjoyed it, certainly. What else come with it? Bit of a blurb. And there you can see him with Coltrane, just doing what he's told. And on the reverse side, it's kind of like that classic portrait. Got one leg up, rest, you know, just sitting on a table or something. And again, it's just rebelliousness. You could have been sitting in a chair, you could have been standing up. It's like, no, I'm going to lean on something. It's like, yeah, he looks like he's got a kindly face, but you know, if you say yes, he says no. If you say up, he says down. He's just one of those, you know, contrarians. I don't know the guy at all. I'm just making this up as I'm going along. But yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Glad I got that. Right. In fact, did I show you the wrong album for that? Yeah, this is the album for it. Sorry. Got them all mixed up. So have a look at that. Yeah, that's real nice. Got no complaints with that. Again, it's been cleaned now, so it's in one of my sleeves. And it's got a real nice weight to it. Again, if you see me in previous videos, I tend to lose it when they're too light. And I know it doesn't affect the sound quality, but it's just the tactile nature of it. Now, along with Byron Pope, I got another album here. It was a two-piecer. And it's by a gentleman called Ron English. And I've seen this album about and just kind of been afraid of it. And I'm glad I gave it a listen to. That's the back of it. And that's the front. I'm not sure if you can see it. A bit of a mermaid kind of Afro-American saucy bartender who happens to be a mermaid. I don't get the imagery. I just don't understand what's going on. But hey, we're just going to run with it. Let me show you the inside if I can. Yeah, do you hear that creaking? That just tells you I never opened it. So yeah, interesting guy, interesting sound. Again, if you like the cosmic kind of, I'm not even, if memory serves me right, it's not necessarily cosmic, but certainly more on the fusion side, or the parts I liked of it. So I'm going to leave a link to a couple of these tracks if they're available. I'll do that. I did buy it for a good reason, and again, it's to hear something different, and I obviously enjoyed it, otherwise it wouldn't be in my hand, sort of thing. In terms of pricing, I think I did all right with this. I think it was less expensive than some of the other Strata produced albums which are out there at this moment. So yeah, I like to hear from people, or have in my collection people who, okay, this is my formula, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'd rather not have the entire collection of Coltrane and Davis and whoever you can mention. I'd rather have one of, you know, or the best work of a particular artist. So I'd rather have let's say, you know, 1,000 individual artists rather than, you know, 3, 4 or 5 artists and have their entire body of work. That's how I do things. That's not saying what you should do, but that's what I do. So when these kind of items come up, I do give them a listen, see if they fit into what I enjoy. And this one, yeah, not that I can remember the album now. I think maybe Fish Feet and Meadowlark were the tunes that I liked off it. We'll see, because I'll put it in the link down below. So yeah, the albums themselves, again, it's been cleaned by me, putting my own. No, this is, I think, the original. Yeah, those are not my ones, but they're really nice. So just typical. And the other one is just reverse, where it is, you know, it was white, predominantly white with the black stripes. So yeah, good weight to them, no problem at all. Yep, pleased as punch with that. Now this album really did put a smile on my face. I didn't know what to expect, but what I can say about the Scandinavians, they never really let me down. Maybe I've chosen well, or if you're in Scandinavian kind of jazz fusion, jazz circles, you might go, that's an obvious album. Well, it wasn't to me, so do forgive. But yeah, if you've never seen this album before, glad to introduce it to you. There you go. It's the Olli Arvenlahti album, and it's The Poet. Love the imagery. Who would have thought to put a well-used sofa as your front image in, you know, a meadow? Who would have thought it? I'll show you the reverse side. Yeah. Yeah, so this sounds better than what it looks like. In fact, this is absolutely, it was a treat to me. I'm super glad I bought it. It wasn't necessarily cheap, but yeah, it was worth full value for it. There's a couple tunes on there, but just had me, and rightfully so. I'm not saying it's a disco album, far from it, but on the fusion side, ooh, I liked it. So yeah, give it a listen. The vinyl itself for it, again, has been cleaned. I love the label, well, saucy label icon for Love Records. That's a bit of filth there, you know what I mean? Or it could be my mind. But yeah. This is probably the lightest of the albums I've shown you so far. But I love the actual, the copy itself is really nice. I've got no complaints. Whatever I spent on it, I was happy to spend it. Hopefully when you hear it for yourselves, you'll feel the same. There's probably, well, certainly in the retailers that I use, there's probably a handful of copies still left. So if you do hear it and like it, I say jump on it. Who knows when you'll see that particular album again. Next one. I got this for a steal, and I still can't believe that I got it for a steal. Greg Adams, Cooling Out. I'll show you the reverse. Yep, I got this at a superb price, and it's just because I was willing to troll through somebody's catalogue to see what they've got on offer and have a listen to it and see if they fit in for me. So I'm not saying this is all round, you know, an outstanding album, because there's loads of bits on here which I could care less for. But Little B's Poem, and it's a 14-minute cut of it, is absolutely astonishing. Never heard of the guy prior to buying it, so let me give you a little, there's a blurb sheet or hype sticker. Long Beach, California based drummer Greg Adams was part of the Los Angeles experimental jazz scene of the early 80s. Debut album Cooling Out was privately pressed in tiny quantities in 1983 as the sole release on Adams's Hip City imprint. Recorded live with no overdubs to retain jazz's naturalistic spirit, the album features individual arrangements of Coltrane's Moment's Notice and Mr. PC, Wayne Shorter's Armageddon, and Joe Henderson's Recording. Oh yeah, I think I know that tune. Anyway, so and the extended version of Bobby Hutcherson's Little B's Poem. Oh yeah, it was little. Sorry, I got it right itch there. Yeah, Little B's, I think of it more Gene Carnes tune rather than Bobby Hutcherson. So yeah. So a good bit of knowledge there. It's 45 RPM audio file. He's the one who got me into retaining these. I just bung them away. I had no idea that it'd be useful to keep them. The minimum effort to do so. So thank you very much for that, for putting me onto that. That is a really good idea to retain these. So you don't lose context of why you bought it, kind of thing. But yeah, I got this for an absolute steal. Little B's Poem, I should be able to leave a link for it down below. Have a listen to it. I think it's one of the finest renditions of that particular tune. So, in fact, let me slip this back inside. The vinyl itself for this absolutely cut price album is a nice bit of vinyl. There you go. Got very good weight to it. Super pleased as punch, I would say, to have that. So 25 minutes in, we've done about 5. I might have to accelerate a bit, we'll see. So next album up is by Doug Hammond, and yeah, it's got Cecil McBee, Marvin Blackman, I always love that name, Herbert Eves, Bayard Lancaster. is it Angela Bofill? Is it Angela Bofill that I know? Or is that, am I confusing? Anyway, that's the album. It's called Folks, and I probably won't be able to leave links for this, because I think even when I wanted to buy this album, I couldn't find any of it on the internet, but that's what it looks like. That's the reverse. So spiritual jazz. It's just, yeah, as you can imagine, this was a, let me see if this was a private press, because it probably was. That's the bump. Released in 1980, Hammond's third album is described by jazz critic Francis Davies of the Village Voice as something of an omnibus. There is a little bit of everything here. The best of it. Excellent. Okay. Expect bright original compositions filled with dancing rhythms, duets, sonorous cello, modal, vocalese, and more. I really should have read this 2 or 3 times to get my mouth around it before, and the tempo of the way it's written before just launching into it, because it's like, hence all the mistakes of stuttering. Do forgive me. Anyway, yeah, it's a nice album, and again, it's one of those where when I found it on a particular website, you can kind of tell that this was one of those what just gets overlooked. You got to hear it for yourself. So the tracks that from this one, hopefully I can find the actual tunes on YouTube or whatever, is Pony Pone, and I think it's Togetherness. Those 2 tunes I thought were absolutely outstanding from this. So yeah, pleased as punch to get that. The vinyl itself again has been cleaned, so I'm super happy with that. Weight of it, yeah, it's not the lightest today, but it's not the heaviest either. It's in that middle kind of ground, so yeah, really happy about that. The next one, spiritual jazz album again, Madasi by Haki R. Madhubuti, and the Nation, African Liberation Arts Ensemble. So there you go. Look at that. Can you see actually the image there? Because only when I'm showing you on camera now, because looking at the cover beforehand, I just thought it was an abstract image. I didn't really realize that there was an actual person there. Maybe I'm that type of person, you know, the old picture things where you got to stare at it for 10 minutes. I was always the one who'd be lying. It's like, yeah, I can see it, when I clearly couldn't. So yeah, I like that even better. I like, yeah, it's brought the level up for me. And that's the reverse. Yeah, I'm a spiritual jazz fan. I love me some spiritual jazz. I've slowed down on buying stuff, because only in the sense of, it's like listening to dub plates in reggae. It's kind of like, if you get too many of them in a row, or even funk, I start to lose track, and kind of like they all meld into one. So yeah, I do like it. It's lovely spiritual jazz. I think I had taken a while to purchase this. I knew it existed for a good 3-4 months after it was released, and I still didn't buy it, but I knew I was going to have it in my collection at some day. I just wanted the initial price to fall on it, and I was confident that I could wait out the retailers. It's like, yeah, give me a fighting chance with it, you know what I mean? It's not a £30 album, it never has been, but if you can give it to me at a more reasonable price, yeah, I'll buy it off you, no problem. So super glad to do that. Should be able to leave links below. Yeah, this is a good time. If you like your spiritual jazz and you don't have it, have a listen to this, see what you think. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. The album itself, again, has been cleaned, so it's all nice and it's upside down there. Yep. So I'm super pleased with that. That's some good weight. That's good weight to that. So yeah, all round nice buying experience with that particular album. This one too, we've got about 5 left, so hopefully we can do this in the next 10 minutes. So one of the great purchases of recent times with me is this one, A Fair User. I love this album cover. I just love it. I just love it. I love the hats. I just love it. This is just adorable. Yes, let me read something, the little sticky notes. It's a Soviet Grail for all accounts. First time ever official reissue of the rarest and hard to find one and only record from the Soviet era by the Turkmen jazz rock psych fusion ensemble. They ain't lying. This is absolutely, the whole thing isn't good. I gotta say that first of all. But there is one track on here, and I think it's called. Now all those bits. Oh, I was trying to read the Cyrillic portions of the type, and of course I can't read Cyrillic alphabet. But the tune is called Native Land. I just well up with it. I think it's absolutely outstanding. So yeah, it's what is it then? It's fusionally jazz. Yeah, definitely psych jazz rock. That's what it is. But I think for the person who likes soundtracks, particularly movie soundtracks, likes a bit of classical, likes their jazz, if you're on that kind of side of things, then you'd probably like it more. But if you're coming from the rock side of things, I'm not sure you're really going to be into it. I don't know, because I'm not a rock person, but not rock as in just, you know, vanilla version of it. It's got, if it's jazz rock, I'll listen to it quite happily, and this is what this is. So anyway, enough of my waffling and my inability to categorize. So in here you get the lovely booklet, which is oh gosh, I don't want to open this in case I basically rip it apart. So some lovely information about the band themselves. I haven't even had time to read. I think part of it's in, I think half's in Cyrillic, the others in English. So yeah, some really interesting information there. Yeah, that the tune, when as soon as I heard it, it changed my life forever. I knew I had to have it, and it was like, okay, you're buying it literally for one tune on an obscure album. How much are you willing to pay? It doesn't happen often, but I turned a blind eye to it. I just said, here's my money. I gotta have that track in my collection somewhere, because it brings me joy on so many levels. It's been cleaned. I'll show you the actual. There you go. That's the label itself. Weight of the vinyl is nice. Again, it's in the middle of what I've been showing you today. It's not the heaviest, it's not the lightest, it's somewhere in between. Absolutely stonking. Anyway, I really like that one, as you can tell. The next one is another kind of obscure jazz album, this time by a gentleman called Tony Branca, who I've never heard prior to buying this album, and the album's entitled For the Children. There you go. I like the artwork, I really do. And that's the reverse, so it's got that kind of independent artiste look about it. So I'll just read the hype sticker. Tony Branca, For the Children, first ever vinyl reissue of this US spiritual model jazz private album from 1980, originally released on the RPC custom label. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing else is said. Yeah, it's got like one outstanding track on there, is from what memory serves me, but I got this at a really good price. I think there's material on here which, if you've got your composition of your jazz collection is slightly different from mine, you might enjoy more of the album than I did. I can only, really stand behind one of the tracks on here, but I bought it for a good price. Again, it was one of those albums which I get the feeling that people just ignored, and I was happy to give it a go, and yeah, I'm glad to have it. Have I got all? Yeah, I'll show you the vinyl for it. I've got so many bits of vinyl here, I don't even know which one's which. That is the vinyl itself. Yeah, it's been cleaned. I'd say this one is like of the lightest two albums today, this is in there. But I know it sounds fantastic. I've played it that many times. Well, that particular track that I like. We have got, if the memory card still works, we're going to try 3 or 4 more. The next one is Shamek Farrar and Folks, La Di La La, on the Jazz Room imprint. Another fusion album, but it does a bit more than that. It's yeah, I've seen this gentleman before and his band name around, and I wanted to take up the opportunity, and for whatever reason it never presented itself. Saw this album for a good price, liked what I heard of it. Let me show you the reverse side. So that's cool imagery. Look how cool these boys are. Love to be in a picture like that. We just, yeah, that's dudes, man. Yeah, so yeah, it's just of an era. It's spiritual jazz. It floats my boat. Super happy with this purchase. You just can't go wrong with it, really and truly. You can't. So yeah, too much to go through now. We're already, you know, over half an hour. But yeah, if you hear it for yourself, I'm gonna try and leave links down below. Listen to it for yourself, see what you think. I think it's going to surprise you how good it actually is, and you might pull the trigger yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to have a copy of that. So I show you the vinyl for that. Again, it's been cleaned. Yeah, I'm happy about that. No worries with that. Oh yeah, it's got a nice weight to it. It's in the middle of today's vinyl. Yeah, super pleased to have that. The next one is one of those albums again which I trawled through somebody's catalogue, and it was like, just give that one a listen. You know, no preconceived ideas. So happy I did that. Fantastic album in front of you. It's by a band called Slow, and the album's called Is the New Fast, and it's a 2018 Amp Music release. Better take it out of its sleeve. I think the plastic's warping it a bit. So yeah, really nice. Yeah, really nice. So yeah, takes my breath away. I took a trip to the Middle East at one stage. Not exactly the same color palette, but for me it's reminiscent. On this album, I bought it for one track, and it turns out on subsequent listenings to it, there was 3 or 4 tracks what really touched me. And I think, no, it wasn't like a bargain album or anything, but I liked who these people are. I like what they got to do, and it's like, this album as a purchase reminds me that I'm not necessarily interested in the back history of artists and that. Do I like the sound of what I'm hearing? Does it resonate with me? And in this case, certainly did. The tune, I think, which really done it in for me, is a tune called Axel, AXL, and Henrik. I think those are the 2 tunes that really stood out for me. So yeah, super glad to get this. I'm going to try and leave links down below so you can hear it. All right, give me a second. I've just got to adjust my stool. There you go. I think it could have been chaos there where I've literally fallen off the stool. Anyway, the vinyl itself is as boring as you can get. Just plain black. Decent weight to it. Good sound in terms of sound. Was it? Yeah, I just know the tunes were wicked anyway. I'm not sure if it was the greatest recording on vinyl or ever. I'm not sure I was in that camp about it. So next album is an album which brought me joy over the last 5 months, and I certainly had this at the time of recording the last video. Mike Westbrook's Love Songs. I love the cover, I really do. The backside is funny as well, and it's just a happy jazz fusion album. Yeah, it's just a wonderful piece of music. This is why weren't people hooing and hawing about this album? You know, you can keep showing me the classic 30 artists, but when something like this exists and nobody says anything, it's like, come on guys, you know, let's try and help each other out. So if you've never heard this or seen it before, please, I'm going to try and leave links down below, but if I don't happen to do that, seek this album out for yourself. It's a load of fun. It's just wholesome. So yeah, strong thumbs up for this one. Really liked it. The vinyl itself is shockingly heavy. That's the label. I like the graphics for that. It's shockingly heavy. I'm not saying this is indicative of all the vinyl copies out there, but this one, my one, is like super heavy. It's just like, ooh, I like that. So yeah, is there any bug for that one? Oh, disappointingly, there's no sticker. Yeah, just underrated. So super enjoyed that one. We're down to the last two. Hopefully we can get through. I don't think I've shown you this one before. Where did I get this from? I think I got it on Bandcamp and looking on Diffusion, which I don't really get the navigation of that particular website. But when I have when I've come to use them, they've never let me down. So this is jazz fusion from 76 to 78, German band, Second Direction, Four Corners. Love the album cover. That is absolutely one of the smartest things. You know, you probably say to me, oh, well, certain was doing this a long time ago. But yeah, I think that's gorgeous. I think that's, yeah, just simple but effective. Yeah, I got a lot of time for this album. I don't like the whole thing. There's 3 or 4 really outstanding tracks on here. Again, if you like your fusion, you like your jazz rock, you like that kind of thing, you're in for an absolute treat here. So yeah, 2 bits of vinyl for it. There you go. I'll just show you one of them. Super clean now. Yeah, it's on the lighter side of what's been demonstrated, shown today, but don't let that put you off. Really good recording. Yeah, it was a very pleasurable buying experience for that album. Just, yeah, again, puts a smile on my face. It's something different. So last one before the memory card runs out. Last but not the least, got a soundtrack for you. Female Animal. Love this one. Had it on CD for over a decade. Never thought I'd ever see this on vinyl. I found it and it was at a really good price and I couldn't believe it. And as I was purchasing it, the tears were welling up in my eyes. I will have you finally. I will have a vinyl version of you. And literally I was, you know, can you imagine my partner looking at me and it's like, why are you, you know, what's with the high pitched voice? What is going on there? Are you insane? Yes, for a bit of Female Animal. So sauciness. Yeah, just pure sauciness on this. I love it. Not over the top where it's like straight out porn kind of lyrics and all that. No. More sophisticated, but yeah. All right, let me just read you the blurb for it. New York-based Eileen Farber, who later had a bit part in The French Connection, was renamed Eileen Tiger by future husband Jerry Gross for the lurid Female Animal, one of the exploitation films he directed and distributed in the late 60s and into the early 70s under his pseudonym or sobriquet, Juan Carlos Granella, with a debauched plot about the raunchy misfortunes that befell an attractive peasant girl with her future husband Gross appearing as a pimp. The film benefited from the lush soundtrack by the Clay Pitts Orchestra. Yeah, I don't need to read the rest. But Clay Pitts, they done a fantastic job on here. Puts a smile on my face. Love the imagery. It's got everything you want in an original soundtrack. It's absolutely blinding. So yeah, I'll try and leave links down below if I can still find those tunes. But yeah, it's something else, and I'm super pleased to have it in my collection. Just a happy boy sometimes. Yeah. Let me show you the vinyl before we sign out. Oh, that's a good bit of oh yeah, that's on the heavier side of stuff today. That's a real good bit of vinyl. No complaints there. So yeah, super happy with that. Right, sorry I had to move at some speed there. Just conscious of the memory card. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a long time. Do forgive me. Hopefully I've made it entertaining for you, or that, you know, I've probably got as many albums still in reserve which I still haven't shown you, and I'm still buying them as we're going along, so it won't take another 5 months for me to do another video. I might have another one, I don't know, whenever this one comes out, which I assume is going to be before Christmas. I'll have one straight after Christmas, something like that, with the next set of albums that I've accumulated, and it will be a similar number of albums. So I'll try and leave links down below for all of them so you can listen to them for yourself. Buy them if you can. I ain't saying they're all cheap, but some of them are. You'd be surprised on how cheap some of them are. Give them a listen at the very least. Absolute pleasure to see you guys again. Look after yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you soon for another episode. So until then, take care. Bye bye.